in the last 5 years, the Prime Minister has been taking a lot of credit, saying that the Indian economy is booming, it's become the world's third largest economy, and there is new respect for India. Well, the fact of the matter is that right from 1947 onwards, India's growth has been steady. And after 91, of course, it picked up new momentum. From between 1900 and 1950, there was no economic growth in India. In fact, per capita incomes declined because with no economic growth and increasing population growth, per capita incomes are bound to decline. So the process of nation building industrialization started only in 1947. And from 1947 till 1980, the Indian economy grew at something like 3.5 to 4% per year, which compared to negative growth for the last 50 years is a spectacular achievement. And since 1991, the Indian economy has grown by something like 6.5 to 7% per year. And during the period 2004 to 2014, the decade of the UPA, the Congress-led UPA, economy grew at over 8% per year. This is not something I have invented. These are facts that are there on the ground and have been accepted by the Government of India, by international agencies, by banks and financial institutions. Now, so to say that in the last 5 years only we've had economic growth, it flies in the face of all evidence. In fact, in the last 5 years, what has happened is all economic data has been doctored, all economic statistics has been doctored to show that suddenly there is a growth boom and there is an employment boom. The reality is investment has fallen, jobs have declined, and growth has been virtually stagnant because of demonetization and because of a hastily implemented GST. In fact, in 2018, never before in Indian history, in 1 year, in 2018, 1 crore Indians lost their jobs. Every Prime Minister wants to be known as a job-creating Prime Minister. But now, Mr. Modi will go down as history as India's first job-destroying Prime Minister. Because in 2018, in 1 year alone, the CMIE in Bombay estimated that 10 million Indians lost their jobs. And this is because of demonetization, GST and so on and so forth, lack of investment. So, there is a continuity in economic policy. Governments come, governments go. And there is a certain continuity. And from 1991 onwards, Narasimha Rao, Deve Gowda, Gujral, Mr. Vajpayee, Dr. Manmohan Singh, and then of course Mr. Modi in the last 5 years, basically have taken the policies of 1991 forward. An open economy, an economy in which private investment, foreign trade plays a very important role. But the foundations of our success after 1991 were laid by the policies of the Congress governments in the 50s and 60s. Who built the steel plants? Who built the fertilizer factories? Who opened up new areas? Who created the SAILs and the BHELs and the ONGCs? Who created Bangalore? Bangalore in the last 25 years has been fueled by Infosys and Wipro and startups. But the Bangalore of the 50s and the 60s and 70s, it was all public investment. Hindustan Machine Tools, Bharat Electronics, LRDE, you name it. And public investment was in Bangalore. And it is this public investment that fueled private enterprise in the 80s and thereafter. So the success of economic policy after 91 was dependent on the infrastructure that was created by the Congress government during the period particularly of Jawaharlal Nehru in the 50s and early 60s.